Hey guys, Alex from 7th Hour Films back again with Ashes to Ashes. Last time on Ashes to Ashes, we finished off Season 2 with Reverse of Reverse. So yeah, as I called it. Or I suppose probably the most apt title is Operation Rose, but screw it. I'm not going with that title. But anyway, yeah, so Operation Rose came to fruition. A wedge was driven between Alex and Jean as she did confess everything about being from the future, but Jean didn't believe her. And everything came to a boiling point when we figured out that Martin Summers was there because he wanted the Bent Coppers to be, to basically be caught in a way they weren't originally in 1982. And they were, and eventually Summers died, and unfortunately Alex was also shot. However, that bullet brought her back to 2008. Unfortunately, now she's in a coma in 1982, so yeah, she's back to the present day, but still stuck in the past, and she's currently being haunted by Gene Hunt on TV screens, so that's terrifying. But yeah, and that leads us into this season, which I can only assume is the Back to the Future Part 3 of this show, which means, well, that means that we would be going back to the Old West to see old Gene Hunt with a mustache and everything, but, like one of Gene's ancestors or something. Probably not going to happen, though that would be hilarious to see like a sort of Western, or I guess they're British, so I guess I wouldn't be that Western. I guess a more Victorian show. That would be really interesting, wouldn't it? If they went back to 1882 and then it was a Victorian show. Yeah. That'd be kind of interesting, but I don't think we're going to be going there. Though I'm willing to be proven wrong. Anyway, I know there's another mini-sode, but I don't... we might wait a little bit, if at all. I don't know. It's not a Top Gear crossover, so I'm not sure if I care too much. So, yeah. If we do it, we do it. If we don't, we don't. Because this is the first episode of the season, if you want to watch my full-length reaction to this, so completely unedited reaction to this episode of Ashes to Ashes, you can for free. Normally I not hide these, but I put these behind my Patreon page, but first episode of every season is available for free. So what you gotta do is head down to the, in the description or into the pinned comments, there's a link. Yes, that takes you over to my Patreon page, but once again, it is free. And then you can... watch it. There's no footage from the episode of Ashes to Ashes because I cannot, and I cannot stress this enough, I can't give you a full episode. So what you have to do is take your copy of this episode of Ashes to Ashes and sync it up to my footage. I've made it as easy as possible. You can do that, quick as can be. So do that. Hopefully you have a good time, and if you do, maybe consider signing up for full length over at my Patreon page for only $5 a month. But if you don't want to, that's perfectly okay too. And if you don't want to watch the full length reaction in the first place, just wait a couple seconds and the normal edited reaction will start up right here on this YouTube video. Either way, be sure to stick around for the discussion afterwards as we figure out what on earth is happening in this show now. So yeah. But yeah, this is it. This is the big ones. This is the final season. There's no other show after this, so let's see if they can bring this on home. So yeah, let's find out as we get into this episode of Ashes to Ashes. Here we go.
My name's Alex Drake, and quite frankly, your guess is as good as mine.
Yeah. That's it! That's the entire intro. That was funny. Oh. We've added a name onto there. Oh, and it's taking up the full screen. Yay. I don't have to weirdly crop 2% from the top and bottom.
I understand. But what if it was real? You weren't there. You didn't see them.
No. I hope this is the same... I hope Sam went to this person, too. Oh, God. Man, Gene Hunt and Ride of the Valkyries. Don't know if I needed that, but it's what I have now.
So you want to return there?
I thought it was all in my head. But Sam Tyler was in a coma too. He was a copper in the same place.
Sam Tyler is dead. And the world you describe isn't real.
Boy, the lighting in this scene is crazy. Oh god. Oh god, you can get a Wii and a DS. Alright. I like that we get, like, more time to deal with this than we did with Sam. What is it like coming back to the world?
Just wake up. I've got a little girl who's been kidnapped. And what with the gov in hiding, I'm on my own.
Gov in
I'm
hiding?
doing my best. Help me.
Oh, shit.
I couldn't get grapes, so I got a melon.
Aw.
Oh, Shaz is coming in later. Not together anymore, but that's cool. And the gang.
Wait.
I'll say without
What?
you, Mum.
You made things better and then you left us.
Oh.
Now when you came back, I know you'd help me to.
Alex.
Ah.
Back to me, I need you. Wake up. Wake up. Wakey, drakey.
Oh,
Wake
God.
up. Come back.
Ah.
Alex. Wake up! Well, that worked then. Because I had a
Tuh.
mate called Brian Batts. Used to get on the voddy teas and wind up Sparko on his own sick. Little tap to the boat race.
Wait, something's wrong here.
Back.
So is she back? Just like that? That seems a little too quick.
It was in a dream.
Turns out if you shoot a fellow officer, they get a little bit annoyed about it.
But her hair's
Where did you
different.
go? That's far up the Quattro.
Nah. Oh god, they're playing Sweet Dreams. You know what? There's a good title for the episode. Sweet Dreams. There's something completely wrong about this. I feel like there's too much noise around the screen. Oh god.
Sis Dorothy
Detective
Blonde
Inspector
kidnapped
Carline.
yesterday morning.
8:21. Parents are on the way. There's been a ransom demand.
It's weird
Better
seeing
get her
him in
back,
a
hadn't we?
suit.
Who's in charge of this shambles?
Yay, hugs.
I am.
God, I want to hug Shaz so
With
much.
the eye now.
And Ray, if you come in here again dressed like a maths teacher, I will paint your balls the colour of hazelnuts and inform a bag of squirrels that winter's coming.
Oh, the original Winter's Coming. This is just the way this is shot. This is so different now.
What was it like, being unconscious all that time?
It looked like home. But it wasn't. It didn't feel at all real.
This does that, doesn't it? I mean, you're awake now.
I think.
Poor little girl. Sat there all by herself waiting for her dad.
Dot Matrix.
This is so strange that it's like I can't get a handle on anything anymore.
Why give ransom details in code?
Well, Drake says it's the kidnapper's innate desire to show superiority.
But
Can't
I'm
just shoot your DI.
I'm also
Most
distracted by
fucking
everyone's
take sounds
hair.
Like nothing's happened.
I'll normally be inclined to agree with you, Raymondo, but these are unique mitigating circumstances.
Good for you, Chris.
Those are big
Told you
words.
reading Doris Lessing broadens the vocabulary.
No.
You two aren't even together and she's got you on the bloody lesbian poetry.
It's good the gov's back in it.
Man, I hate that they're not together. What happened?
Hi, DCI Jim Keats. Discipline and complaints.
Okay. DCI Jim Keats. Where have I seen this guy before? We'll look him up after the episode. I assume he's our new Martin Summers.
This is the latest in a long line of, how should I put it diplomatically? Risky operating styles.
Don't believe it or not.
Thank you.
God, this all feels so weird. The entire show has changed into something different.
Dead copper in front of me.
Hey, Top Gear's on. No, dang it. Put on Top Gear. I don't care if it's the old Top Gear. Like the really old Top Gear.
Is there anybody there?
I mean, what's happened to her in 2008?
5, 18.
Hold on. Timothy, the 55th book, chapter 1, verse
God damn,
4.
she's good.
When I called remembrance the unfeigned faith that is in thee, which dwelt first in thy grandmother's written as 2 words.
So it's Gran.
50 grand.
There you
We
go.
just found our ransom demand.
Oh, Mum, I bloody love having you back.
Nah.
Chris, I'm sorry about you, Rochelle.
Yeah, me too. Just couldn't see eye to eye and she gets so angry these days. Anyway.
But
let's
why?
move
But
on,
like,
keep a friend.
what
Has
happened?
your IQ doubled since I've been away?
No.
No, stop stressing. Can I have a crack at missile command?
No.
No.
Gary Soper, DCI Hunt, Jack Drake.
God, the man's got 90% burns and severe brain damage. He barely knows we're here.
See if he flinches.
I'm not looking for trouble.
But the Gov really wanted to be here. This case is important to us.
This department needs me, Keith. You know, in fact, I am this department.
What's really
I
important
am
to you,
the
Gene,
department.
the girl of your career. I'm a bit of a superstitious person, and I happen to agree with you, Alex. You are back for a reason. But maybe it's not to help him. Or any of them. Maybe it's to help me.
You almost sound like you know what I'm going through.
Gene Hunt is at the heart of this. You're all right. We'll keep talking.
He's definitely a
Right,
new
pay
Martin
attention, the
Summers,
drop
but
zone will be here.
there's something about it.
Blonde, all units.
Ray out
sit
here
tight.
about to clean your chimneys.
Go!
What is he doing?
Oh my god.
Oh, dang it. Well, that didn't work. You'll excuse me if I'm not, like, all there on this episode. Not in a bad way or anything, but just because I'm still sort of out.
Oh, come on. Asbestos. It causes asbestosis. It's lethal. It rips your lungs to shreds. No, asbestos.
They don't know.
Don't tell me. None of you have ever heard.
They had a William Carr Burton doing 8 years for attempted kidnap. Methodist. And beats me how a devout Christian can also be a criminal, though.
Ask a Catholic choir boy.
Don't know any.
Ugh.
Police! Open up!
Just break it down, Chris.
We don't have a warrant, ma'am.
Warren, Mara, just do it.
Ah, my shoulder.
I know, Gov. T for 15 and I'll put the Bourbons on a plate.
Word.
Shut the...
Listen, Drake's always gone on about what a smart little plonk you are, so, how do you fancy a spot of surveillance?
Give her something to do.
Maybe if we let the exchange take place. Just let these swines take the dough and hand the girl over. At least she'll be safe.
No, she'll have seen them, heard them, be aware of her surroundings. My spidey senses tell me once they got their money, they'll kill her.
What are
Boy,
we down to?
a Spider-Man reference in 1982.
Like Drake for you.
Methodist Christianity. This man's a Catholic. This isn't Gary Soper.
What? That was a different guy.
I'm reckoning our veggie in there was used as a decoy to drive the getaway car by Gary. Trouble is, car crashes,
Oh,
and
good.
all burns to a crisp.
So
Get
now
some more
everybody
David
thinks
Bowie
Gary's in
going.
hospital. They're not going to hurt her. She's going to be all right.
That was a fucking death glare by Shaz. Pushing
Deep down,
down
she wants
on
to
me.
confess.
Pushing
That's why she
down
told us
on
about
you.
Carr Burton.
You're an
Why she wanted
asshole.
to wire.
They're meant to be kept in the warehouse, but they had to clear the workforce out a couple of months back.
Because of a health and safety scare.
I tend to find that stories like this work better on
Ah.
Nationwide.
That's where it
Somewhere
is.
told him to go that it wouldn't be disturbed. The last place they'd think to look. The other warehouse.
The warehouse that they're not using. Oh gosh. Door to nowhere. Oh. Just burst through the wall. Oh, good job, guys.
Thank you.
Oh, shit. More of Shaz's death glare.
Shaz, would you mind going sitting with them, please, until the ambulance arrives?
Mom.
Damn, I've never
Well, the
been
first
so
time I
scared of
met you,
Shaz.
you were running.
He's about to start cutting bitches.
You've wanted to escape from this.
It's a tough call this morning. I know it didn't pan out, but you could have did it and you didn't. As Mrs. Lady Woman over there is keen to remind me, you made a snap decision and you acted on it. Sometimes that's all we can do, so well done, Inspector.
Hey.
Cheers, Cuff.
You know, I'm kind of glad that he's Detective Inspector now.
You proved me wrong today. All of you. DCI Hunt, most of all. This is a station of mavericks. That means that officially we're going to assess your suitability. No, buts. No. It's a big but. I'm in charge of assessing you, and heaven help me, oh, I've got a soft spot for the old ways. Okay?
I mean...
I hate you. I can't help it. I hate what you stand for. The mousetrap.
Maybe you prefer water.
No, thank you. It's about you, Hunt. About what you've done in the past.
Why is she getting that? Ah! Sam?
Maybe Alex Drake was an accident. But you do have a nasty temper, my friend, and not everyone's walked away from that.
And a good dart throwing arm.
The things you've done, oh, they won't want to believe it. Because they love you and they think that they know you. They'll hate me for it. But in the end, as sad as that will be for them, they will see.
That's a lot of redacted stuff. And she's keeping that file about Sam.
And I'm here to...
Find out the truth.
The truth. Like the truth about Sam? Oh no, they made the song ominous. Well, this is immediately 1,000 times more interesting than the past 2 seasons have been. Not to put down the last 2 seasons. For the most part, they've been pretty good, but... This definitely has something to do with Sam. Something happened to Sam. Now, let me see. Daniel Mays. Where have I seen this guy before? Oh, that's an interesting one. So he played the dad on Good Omens, the Antichrist adoptive father. Interesting. Do I know him from anything else, though? It may just be that. Okay, yeah, that's what I was thinking of. Okay. On Doctor Who, in the episode Night Terrors, that's an 11th Doctor episode, I thought that was him. That's what I thought of, that episode. Again, the dad in that one. Actually, I think his name was Alex in that one. Yeah, okay, that's where I recognize this guy. Alright. It's interesting now putting him in the main cast as well. Where they never did that with Martin Summers, you know? Alright, so, interesting ideas. Now, I'm still kind of weird on this episode. Not in a bad way, but just in a, this all feels very weird. So, the tone, the mood, the lighting, honestly, almost down to the filming of this episode is vastly different, not just from the rest of the show, but the whole thing, even from Life on Mars. And that's very, very interesting. Oh, man, this is so strange now. So, So Alex is back, which is interesting. And it's basically, we're now expanding on the end of Life on Mars, where the end of Life on Mars, Sam wakes up and he goes about his time in the real world, or in the present. And eventually he realizes he's not meant for the present day, jumps off the building, and returns to 1973. But here, we have that a little bit, but what prompted Alex to come back? Like, for a little while, I was almost thinking, like, maybe this is part of a dream or something, and I don't know, like, what facilitated her coming back, you know? That's my next question. What facilitated her coming back? I don't know. This is a really weird one, but in a good way, you know? In a very good way. And in a way that I feel like Season 2 tried to do. At least at the beginning, you know? So, mainly just with all the secretism about Martin Summers, you know? Like, it took a while before we got any sort of a grasp on what he was doing, you know? Whereas here, with Jim Keats, like, we're getting straight into it already. Though I'm sure there's going to be more revealed about him later. But I feel like we're getting more of a solid start with him than we did with Martin Summers, you know? But, to jump into the notes, I mean, the first thing I wrote down is therapy. And I'm curious, you would think, honestly, it would be the same therapist. Assuming, I don't remember if Sam actually went to therapy when he came back. You know, the interesting thing, too, is that this is the second time that they don't show the characters they should in the present day. You know? Like, there was no Molly in this episode at all. But not just Molly, they haven't shown Evan in the present day, you know? And at the same time, in Life on Mars, when Sam woke up, he never saw Maya. And that was one of my things, was like, well, wait a minute. What happened to Maya? That was the whole thing, was that, you know, did he change time and save her, you know? You would think Evan might now remember Alex being in 1982 in Season 1, you know? Or 1980, well, whatever year it was. But they I almost feel like specifically haven't shown the two of them, Maya or Evan, when they wake up. So that, I feel like, almost adds an extra layer of mystery to it, you know? But I like the idea of expanding on this a bit more, where it's like, okay, she woke up, things weren't working out, and now she's back, and now how does that now work, you know? But at the same time, how did she get back? And we had that moment where they had everyone on the TVs talking about how things have changed. It's been a few months. Jean was on the run. Ray became Detective Inspector. Chris and Shaz broke up. Like, I could walk away right now because of that. Like, what happened? What happened? Like, things were working. It was working. She had a wedding dress. What happened? What happened? I'm genuinely curious. What happened? You know? Because they talk about it a little, but I don't even know, like, I don't even know what they say about it.
Chris, I'm sorry about your Shaz.
Yeah, me too. Just couldn't see eye to eye and she gets so angry these days.
I couldn't meet eye to eye. The fuck do you mean you couldn't meet eye to eye? Damn it, man. I can only assume he fucked up for some reason. I can only assume on some level it is Chris's fault. Because how do you lose a girl like that? How do you lose an amazing girl like her, you know? God damn it. Have you noticed that I've just been gradually getting more and more... like, I've fallen more and more for Shaz as this show has gone on. I don't know. I almost feel like part of it is just because I think it's funny. But at the same time, it's like, I don't know. I've become such a simp for Shaz, you know? Oh well. But that pisses me off. The only thing I can think is that somehow Alex was the glue holding them together. Which honestly, maybe Alex made sure that Chris was better. So without Alex, Chris was not good enough for her. You know what? That sounds about right. Honestly. So we had the case of this episode, which was an interesting one. But this is, alright, this is going to be the first time I say this, that I am more invested in what the overarching plot was than with the actual case. They did it. They finally did it. They got me to care more about the plot than the case. And that was, I mean, that was one of my bigger things in Season 1 and a bit in Season 2, although Season 2 I felt like balanced it very well. But it finally happened. It finally happened. Like, we can talk about everything with, was it David Blonde and the daughter and the wife and stuff like that. But quite frankly, I don't care that much. I don't care much about that. And just, I don't know. Just everything else about this episode is so eerie and strange, you know? Like, just the tone, the mood, the way it's shot. And I swear they're filming it a bit differently. You know what I wonder? So this is 2010 now, when this came out. I wonder if they're shooting in HD now, but they're putting specific, like they're reducing the quality or putting filters over the scenes in 1982 or 1983, whatever year this is, and they're making it look older now. Like before, I think they just filmed it like normal, but now there's a definite difference in the camera and how everything is shot now. And even just the lighting and something is very different about how they're making this season that I can't fully put my finger on it, but it makes it all the better, honestly. And especially, too, I feel like there were plenty of shots, especially, like, I swear to God, I would almost tell you that Vince Gilligan did this, you know? Like, this is some Breaking Bad stuff going on, where, like, I swear, normally we have shots of CID that are all sort of lit from Gene's office. Because Gene's office has a wall to the outside. So that light is coming, I mean, honestly, like this. But it almost feels like now there has been less and less light coming from Gene's office now. You know? Like more and more as... Let me look. Yeah. More and more, and especially with Gene being more and more back until the end of the episode. The end of the episode, it's nighttime. Like, I almost feel like that's deliberate. Like, they've made the light coming from Gene's office darker and darker as the episode went on. Maybe I'm crazy, but I've watched a lot of Breaking Bad and Better Call Saul. I notice visual stuff like this now. You know? Like, if you want to be trained in spotting differences in visual filmmaking, those two shows are brilliant for it, you know? I'm getting ice. Ow! Damn it. I just hit my front tooth. Ow! I've never failed so hard to drink water. Okay, still, I can't, like, I don't care about the case. Like, I can't even, like, talk about it. Like, everything with, like, oh, the wife, she went back to her ex, and she really loves him. It's like, whatever. I've seen that a million times. How has this happened? How have I changed this much? It's just the way this episode is made, I think. I don't know. I'm gonna roll my sleeves up a little bit. Okay. So we've got DCI Jim Keats. Interesting stuff. So, I mean... Oh, I suddenly just remembered. Last episode, I think I tried remembering the name of the guy from Life on Mars. I just remembered Frank Morgan. That was it. DCI Frank Morgan. Yeah. Okay, so Jim Keats kind of seems like a Frank Morgan type. You know? Where at first you think he actually is in the loop on everything. But then it's revealed maybe not. You know, like I'm curious how much Keats actually knows. You know, does he actually know? Is he someone who has been sent back here to take down Gene Hunt? It's entirely possible, you know? Because we know, kind of, we vaguely estimate that other people can be brought here, you know? Not just Sam and Alex, but also Martin Summers. So it's entirely possible that Jim Keats has been sent back here as well, you know? To take down Gene Hunt. Which is very, very interesting. So, something happened. Something happened 3 years ago. Now, correct me if I'm wrong, but I think that's relatively close to when Sam supposedly died, which we only heard about in episode 1, when Ray says that Sam died. It was something, I don't remember what it was specifically, but they were doing something, and Sam wanted to go on in, but Ray said, no, we should wait for the Gov, but Sam went on in anyway, you know? And he ended up dying. So, are they implying that maybe Gene had a hand in his death? We don't know. Either way, I mean, Alex got a file with a lot of redacted information about Sam Tyler. So there's, I think we're building to something, and this being the final season, I feel like we are building to something with this, you know? Now, it's interesting. I mean, we're kind of also continuing on a bit of stuff established in season 2, where, you know, which we've always had since the very beginning of Life on Mars. We've always had this thing with Gene, where we talk about, like, his methods, basically, and, you know, Sam being a good copper and Gene being a ethically questionable copper who still gets results. And a lot of that was also challenged in season 2 when they talk about bent coppers and everything. And the point was, you know, I remember that line where Gene says, you know, I will do my work, I will get the bad guy, but don't watch, it's not for the faint of heart. Everything he does, yes, his methods are terrible, but he does get results, you know? Which was also what we had a bit at the end of Life on Mars, when Frank Morgan is trying to take down the entire team, basically. Which, again, I like that we're sort of harping back to that a little bit. There is something, and with everything about, like, okay, if Sam wants to go home, he has to destroy Gene's world. And for a bit, that works until he comes back. So we're really, it's interesting that you could almost say we're recycling some of these ideas from season 2 of Life on Mars and from season 2 of Ashes to Ashes, but I feel like we're doing something different, just the way it's being done, leading to more mysteries. We're actually kind of looking at this like, well, wait a second, what is Gene doing? What has he done? You know, maybe we should be on Jim Keats' side, you know? It's one of those things that's like, okay, now we just sort of sit here like, where are we going with this? Like, they've made it work enough to where I'm really not sure where we're going, you know? I'm not sure where we're going with this, you know? So, So that's good. I really like that. And I like how there is consistency with that too. It's not just, which you could even say that could be the reason why Alex woke up at the end of season 2, was that Jean being on the run, staying away from CID after shooting Alex, that allows her to come back because his world is currently gone. Now that he's come back to clear his name, now she's back there, you know? You could even say it's something like that, and everything with the bent coppers from last season. So there's some sort of consistency, something that we have started since, honestly, season 1 of Life on Mars. Something that has been building over these seasons, and we are now going to work on this season, which is interesting. This is probably very refreshing for everyone after some of the rants I went on in season 2. Which were more towards the beginning or anything. But even, like, just everything, because I've even said, even in the days of Life on Mars, that I've been more interested in the cases and how they're solved than the overarching plot. Now I'm sort of the other way, where I'm looking at everything with the case here, and I'm barely talking about it, because, I don't know, maybe because now I've seen so many of them, that it's like, oh, it was the wife who was actually doing something else away from her husband. Like, all that stuff I've seen 1,000 times in this show now. So now, just everything just with not only what's going on with, Jim Keats and everything, but how does this relate to Sam? How does this relate to Jean? How does this tie into literally every season we've had up to here? And how does this work with Alex? What is she going to go through? And what is different about this world? Because this world is different. Shaz is scary now. Like, the death glare she was giving people, that was terrifying. I've never, for God's sake, she's one of the cutest girls in the world, and those death glares, I feel like I did something wrong when she gives those glares. Ugh, jeez, And also interesting, too, without Alex and with Ray in charge, it's interesting everything, with her role being reduced until I did like Jean actually giving her something to do, giving her surveillance, So that was really, really interesting, So, yeah, something's definitely up. I'm way more invested in this season and this season arc, I guess, than I have been for the other 4 seasons we've had, So, this is really, really interesting, and I'm curious to see where we are going from here. But that is basically it. With all that being said, I'm Alex from 7th Hour Films, and I will see you guys next time. Take care. Alright guys, thanks for watching this video. There's a bunch of links on screen if you want to go click around to any of those. There's a playlist for all of my Ashes to Ashes reactions, as well as another playlist for all of my Life on Mars reactions. I got a burp. Nope, no I don't. Alright. There's also a subscribe button and a Patreon button on screen, as well as other links in the description if you want to go check out any of those. See you guys later.